All right, so we're joined by the Madison 463 Trustmark National Bank branch, the branch manager, Leatrice Tucker. We thank you so much for joining us today. We're in the finance career cluster. I've got a room full here with me at Velma Jackson High School, and we're recording this for all of our friends in Madison County Schools. Madison Central, which is right down the road from you, Rosa Scott, which is also right down the road from you, Ridgeland High School, Germantown High School, the Academic Options Center, and our YouTube channel. So thank you so much for taking some time for us on this rainy Friday.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited about it.
All right, so before we get into what all it is you do at Trustmark, because I know it's a lot, because banking is a great industry to get into. Tell us a little bit about you. You went to Pearl High School, so tell us how your college journey before you got into the banking field.
Okay. Yes, I graduated from Pearl High School, and from there I did deviate from college. I did not go to college right afterwards, but I did go back to the Jackson State University, and I got my bachelor's degree in business administration there. I have currently been in the banking industry for about 18 years now, and throughout my career, I actually started out as a part-time teller here at the Madison 463 location, but I have definitely had the opportunity to kind of go around to different locations, different positions. I have also been down in our corporate office. I work in the BSA department there, and which is another department outside of what we ordinarily do every day, what people usually see every day. You know, in the banking world, it is kind of like it takes a whole plethora of departments to bring the banking together. A lot of people really don't realize it. They just see, hey, you know, it's a teller, it's a branch, but we also have other opportunities within Trustmark here.
Yeah, and that's what, I really wanted to start off with that, because banks are not going to go away. There are several positions that banks are always looking for. Well, so even if a person is not a face-to-face type person, with the new technology advances, you need cybersecurity people, you need IT people. Obviously, you need people with background in accounting, you need people with background in business. So talk about some of the different backgrounds of people that work in the bank.
Okay, I would be glad to. Well, I just finished up a program here at Trustmark that it's called the Emerging Talent Program. And what it does is it brings everyone from different departments and everything in Trustmark and actually put us together just so that we can learn different leadership styles. But as you said, here at Trustmark, there is a lot of opportunities, a lot. We do have just our operational side of it. From operationals, we have, people that, like you said, have to I'm sorry. Let me get my thoughts together. The financial. So what we call it here is our financial. Let me get the correct name right. Give me just a second. Bear with me. You know, when you have your mind going to what you want to say and then you kind of deviate from
all the time.
Our corporate security department, which is fraud investigation. That's what I'm trying to get to. Okay. So our corporate security department, which is our fraud investigators, that department we actually did not have that department until probably about 5 years ago.
Wow.
We did have a department similar to that, but it wasn't that big of a department. I think at that time, we only had like 5 or 6 people there. But because of all of the fraud and everything that's going on, that department has really grown within the last 5 years. A lot of people think that, banks lose money out on, of course, bank robberies and stuff, but that's not the truth. The truth is we lose most of our money in check fraud, the new cash apps and everything. We lose a lot of money on that. So we do have a department that actually investigates that. So if you, like you said, if you don't want to have to interact with people every day, there are those departments that helps the bank run and help us save a lot of money. We get a lot of times, somebody will make a large deposit, a check deposit, and from there, they're like, okay, so why did y'all put my check on hold? That's just our department. So we're just trying to precautions, debit card transactions. A lot of times, you'll use your debit card online, using debit card online, and somebody got your account number now. So, hey, we got to tag that and say, hey, somebody, you're here in Canton, Mississippi, but somebody in Destin, Florida is trying to use your card. So are you in Canton or are you in Destin? So those are departments that we have that kind of, help with that. And just, not only those departments, we have, marketing. We have a marketing department here. If anybody is interested in marketing, we got a very, very good marketing department, very strict marketing department here at Trustmark. And a lot of times, I tell people all the time, we get on Facebook and it's like, okay, my job, it doesn't matter, I'm not, it has nothing to do with my job, but it really does. And that's kind of what they monitor for us as employees, because we are a reflection of the bank. So in order to keep it going and making sure we're doing our part and making sure we're actually showing a clear and clean image for the bank, that's kind of the things that they monitor. So I tell people all the time, it's Facebook is fun when it's fun, Twitter is fun when it's fun, TikTok is fun when it's fun, but when you want a job, you kind of got to look at the things that you're displaying in your everyday world. So yeah, that's kind of, the different departments and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, like you said, I'm a branch manager here. So my major goal here at the bank is to actually help the bank grow. And when I say help the bank grow, how can I help the bank grow? Through deposits and loans. That's my number one focus here, is making sure I'm getting our deposits in, making sure we're getting that loan growth, because the banks are, we're working every day. I have to get paid. I like to get paid. I like my paycheck. I have to get paid. So how are we to pay, our employees? That's the way we pay our employees, through our deposits and our our deposits and our deposit growth and our loan growth. And I also manage. I have a staff here with me. I actually manage. I have a branch supervisor and tellers that I also manage. So I manage their day-to-day activities and what they're doing, and making sure everyone is keeping up to task with what they need to do. And on the deposit side of it, of course, tellers have to have, we don't call them tellers. We have relationship bankers. Something I got to kind of get used to. I've been in this for 17 years, and they've always been tellers. But they did get changed over to, they have relationship bankers now. So with relationship bankers, they do the overall day-to-day transactions. They can open up accounts. They're not only working with just the taking deposits and cash or checks like they used to. They actually get to come over and open up accounts and everything. So that gives them a little opportunity and help them grow within the company. And that was the main goal in what they did, and the main goal in changing them just from a teller. They wanted to be kind of a universal thing, be able to come in and work around and do kind of everything that they, that I can do. And of course, when you're doing that and you're showing that, hey, this is what I can do, then of course you'll move up in this banking world. It's definitely been an advantage for me. I definitely love what I do. Some days are better than others, and it's always going to be like that. I don't care what job you get. But I have had the opportunity, like I said, to kind of work all around. I've worked in the Jackson metro area, Rankin County, of course, Madison, here at Madison, and then in our corporate office.
Yeah, and a cool thing about banking is that it's you don't have to worry about having to work a lot of weekends. You're not gonna have to work late at night. So if you want to have a family, it's very conducive to having being able to get your kids after school, to be able to go to events, spend time with your family on weekends, and you can plan vacations around that. So to me, that's a huge draw in knowing that you're not gonna have to work any holidays and you're not gonna have to work a whole lot of weekends.
Oh yes, that is definitely a big advantage. And we do have some locations that are open on Saturdays, in which we rotate. Everyone in the banks do rotate those Saturdays at those locations. But as you said, with everything that's changing, we actually have a new ITM program that we have. It's an intellectual teller machines. Those teller machines, actually, you just walk up to them like an ATM, and you walk up to them and you work them, and they're actually moving those widespread. So we closed a lot of branches that's open on Saturdays because we have that option of the ITMs, and the ITMs.
Oh,
We went from, I think, in 2020 is when they started the ITMs. We started out with like 5 ITMs at the time. And now we have actually grown until over 200 ITMs, and they say by the end of the year it's going to be well over that. So we do have those
wow.
options. We do have those options in it, and it's amazing. The ITMs are open from 7 to 7. Amazing, amazing, easy. And then people are looking at, oh well, that's changing the banking world, and that's making other people, losing positions. It's really not. It has brought our banks so many more open positions, because regardless of what, at the end of the day, someone has to be on the other side of that television ITM machine. So we do have 3 locations now that harbors people that actually work on the ITM. So you're actually, like you're seeing me here, that's what you'll see at the ITM is an employee of Trustmark right here. Sometimes
Wow.
in the Jackson metro area, we have one, some here in our Jackson metro area. We have a center in our Memphis area, and we also have a center down on our coast area
Wow.
that harbors the ITM. So yes, people, we're not losing any jobs, we're not losing any positions. Like I said, it's open from 7 to 7, so you have to have someone there for that 12-hour shift. And then on Saturdays, it's open 7 to 1. So someone always have to be there. So of course, it has definitely brought in a lot of other employees to Trustmark. And then, I tell people a lot of times, a lot of people ask, well, what are you looking for? And do you have to have a degree? And that really just depends on the position.
Yeah.
That depends on the position that you have. That depends on your experience. I tell a lot of people, you want to be a relationship banker, you just have to have that cash handling and that customer service experience. That's the most important thing. We pride ourselves on customer service. Trustmark has been a great bank in customer service. It reflects in our 2022, 2023, we were named best bank, one of the best banks in Mississippi. So, that's just kind of our customer retention. It's not all of the products that we offer, because everybody around, all the banks around kind of offer the same type of products.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I had the administration at the door.
Oh,
But
you're
you
fine.
mentioned something there that I wanted to hit on, because Trustmark is, you talked about moving up within the company. Trustmark has locations all over, so you wouldn't have to, if you wanted to live on the coast, if you wanted to live in the Memphis area, there's locations there. Because I hear kids say all the time, well, I don't want to go too far away, but I want to move away. Trustmark's a great company to do that in. And you also mentioned about the degrees. Holmes and Hines community colleges also have banking technology certificate programs, where after 1 or 2 years you can get that experience with that banking technology that a lot of these banks are looking for as well.
That's correct. That's correct. And like I said, here at Trustmark, I did not have any banking experience. None. I didn't have a college degree when I started here. I started out as a teller. I did have cash handling experience. So that kind of is what helped get me in the door. And when I say cash handling experience, it was a very minimum cash handling experience. I actually worked for dry cleaners before I started at Trustmark.
Wow.
So that's kind of, just the opportunity and me being able to get in the door and being able to prove that, hey, I'm capable of doing this, and having managers to believe in me and wanting to move me up and wanting to promote me is actually what helped me. And I knew then, once I got into the banking industry, I knew that was something that, hey, I think I would kind of want to stay in this field. So what do I need to do to grow? And then that is when I went back to Jackson State, and then that's when I was able to to grow my career.
Now, before I get to the students' questions, I did want to talk about, even if they're not interested in a career in banking, it's extremely important to be familiar with how banks work. Having a Cash App card is not having a bank account. Now, and look, I use Cash App for what it, to pay certain people for things. It definitely has a place, but if that's your only thing you're using, it's going to create some problems for you as you get older and need types of things in business. If you want to open a business, a lot of companies are requiring checking accounts to get paid. So talk about why it's important to be familiar with the bank and some of the services that they can start using right now in high school.
Yes, that is a great question, and I'm so glad you asked that, and you did. We're going to talk about that. So yes, Cash App, Venmo, Apple Pay, all of that is really, really good. On some situations, Cash App, you can't go into a bank, you can't go to Cash App and ask for a loan. And as we know, you want to be able to get to your work. You want to be able to get to school. So, just being able to have that face-to-face and one-on-one relationship with the banker is very, very, very important. And I tell anyone, if it's not me, if it's not Trustmark, it is just important to have some kind of relationship with the bank. We do a lot. We do a lot. It's not just opening up accounts. We do loans. We do wealth management. We have wealth management. We have insurance. We have mortgages. So just having that relationship, that banker's relationship, is just very, very, very important. Because a lot of times, people. Cash apps get hacked, and then they come into the bank. Hey, what am I supposed to do? And we say contact Cash App. What Cash App say they can't do anything, and that's where the bank step in and say, okay, this is what happened. These are the transactions that's happened. So just having that relationship is very important. And I have adult children now, and I tell them all the time, it is so important. Credit is so important. Your credit is probably more valuable than money. Well, it is more valuable than money, because a lot of times, we want to be able to go and purchase a home. In 10, 15 years, you may want to go purchase a home and you have no credit. No one is going to finance you. So just being able to establish that credit, establish that banker's relationship, all of that is important for your future. And that's what we're here for. That's what our banks are here for. That's what we pride ourselves on. We pride ourselves on being able to have that relationship and being able to just work with you. I love it. I love my customers. They come in and some of them I watch their children grow, and I'm like, geez, like you're in high school already. But it's wonderful.
Yeah, and if you want to open a business, you're gonna have to have some type of business checking account in order to properly file your taxes. The IRS is gonna want to see that, and then it's nearly impossible to start a business now without some type of loan, depending on the business. But you're gonna have to deal with a bank that does business loans. And there's all kind of grants and things, but you're still going to need that banking business relationship if you plan on being in business for yourself.
That's correct. That's correct. And when you say starting up a business or whatever, a lot of banks we do SBA loans, small business loans. And we do work with the SBA Association to make sure that we can get these loans out. That's part of what we do. I mean, our biggest thing is loans, and that's definitely, and our business banking department is one of the departments that small businesses is literally growing every single day. Minority owned businesses growing every single. That is like one of the fastest growing business. Women-owned businesses. We see it a lot. And just being able to just have your cash management and being able to give you the resources. We have merchant services, so you can come in and get your ATM, your credit cards set up, for your businesses. We offer those products to these small businesses. We have that relationship with a small business lender is very, very important in with your business. The
Absolutely.
relationship with the banker is important with your business.
Absolutely. Now, I know your voice is gone, but I got some questions from the students. I'll get
Oh,
to
you're
me.
fine. You're fine. You're fine. We're
Uh,
good.
and these are all ninth graders. This first one is
Okay.
Ashton Joe, and he asked, "How do you deal with customers that are mean?"
How do I deal with a smile? With a smile. I deal with customers with a smile. And I have found that sometimes, a lot of times, 98% of the time, the customer that comes in and they're upset or they're mean is really over nothing. If you get down to the underlying problem, it's like, okay, we can take care of that. Treat them, treat them as you would your mom, with the respect that you would. And just like I said, just smile, and you will be amazed how many people that comes in upset about something that's going on in their account, and when they realize, hey, we can take care of that, it's no big deal. Their whole demeanor, and a lot of times I get other products, I get other referrals from them.
This is Jernylan Fleming Nash, member of our band here at Velma Jackson, and she asked, "What's the hardest part about your job?"
The hardest part about my job is probably sometimes dealing with difficult customers. Um, and then it's some I am a I'm very competitive. So I always like to make sure that my branch is like one of the top branches in our market, whether it comes down to referrals, growth, just any kind of. So the hardest part of my job is just staying on task and making sure at the end of each quarter or at the end of each year, I'm one of the top performers. Um, that's the most important thing to me, and it's not because I want to be the top performer um, for myself. I want it to be a reflection of my associates too, because they see then that, hey, we can do this. We're on task. We're doing this. We're doing everything good, and just that customer relationship. Because when you're one of the top performers, that just kind of lets you know then that, hey, I'm doing my job. My customers are enjoying me. They're wanting to come back. They're wanting to get another loan with me. They're wanting to open up another account. They wanted to bring $100,000 from another bank. So just the day to day. It's not really hard. Sometimes it's challenging. A lot of times it's challenging, especially in this market. What we're doing now, with the interest rates and everything going up, it's really challenging. But just not knowing the uncertainties in banking.
Here's a great question, and this is, and I'm glad they're asking this question. This is Alayla Jones, member of our band and our volleyball team here, and she asked, "What's the difference between a credit card and a debit card, and which one would you recommend somebody in high school that wants to get started?"
Oh wow, great question. Great question. Okay, so a debit card is attached to your checking account. So a debit card is you when you come in and open up an account, a checking account. We do give debit cards to each one that opens the checking account. So that is attached solely to your checking account. That's attached solely to your money. This is no money that is lent to the bank. This is actually money that you deposit. Now, a credit card, on the other hand, this is a credit that the bank is giving you, is issuing you. Unfortunately, here at Trustmark, you have to be 18 to get a credit card, because that's a legal obligation. That's saying that, hey, I promise to pay you back. Once you get a credit card, you saying, hey, I understand that this is borrowed money and I'm promising to pay you back. So we do start it off at 18. From 18 to 20, you either have to have a cosigner on there, or you have to open it up and secure it with your own money. Once you turn 21, you can then get a credit card on your own. Credit cards reflect your credit. We report those to the credit bureaus. Debit cards are not reported to the credit bureaus. So Getting started, I always tell people, check an account, establish savings, and then get a credit card. Credit cards definitely help improve your credit. But the thing about a credit card, it can hurt you also. Credit cards, you have a certain amount of limit on there. If you go over your 30%, that's when it started reflecting negatively on your credit report, because it's saying that you're utilizing a lot of this money. So most of the time, starting out, I tell people get a credit card. If you're looking for to establish credit, get a credit card. Credit cards are great; they're great, but they can also hurt you. So stay under that 30% credit limit, and then you'll be able to thrive, and you'll be able to have a revolving. And then a credit card is a revolving line of credit, what we consider as a
Absolutely.
revolving line of credit.
Absolutely. And I mean, like I said, obviously most of the ones that are seeing this are below that age, but that's something you need to start thinking about. That's
Yeah.
something extremely
Mhm.
important. I've got time for two more. This person's funny. This is Tyler Myers, member of our football team. And he asked, what's the silliest thing you've ever seen anybody spend money on?
The silliest thing I've ever seen someone spend money on. Everybody has something different that they enjoy doing. I definitely, some purchases I definitely would not make. But I really honestly don't know anything silly that somebody has. We have a lot of customers here that they're avid hunters, and they will spend $20,000-$30,000 just to go over to Africa to hunt. And I'm like, that's just
All right.
crazy to me.
All right. Now listen to this. I had another banker who got asked the same question last year. She said the same thing.
Yeah.
She said it's amazing
Yes.
how much people spend money on hunting stuff. And
Yeah.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yes. I'm talking about they spend money on these things. I'm like, but you're just going to shoot something.
All right. I got one more. This is Michaela Job, and she asked, "What made you change careers into banking, and what advice would you have for someone who wanted to get into the industry?"
Okay. I actually did not know where I wanted to go. Like I said, I was working at a dry cleaners, and I knew that was somewhere that I did not want to have a career in. First of all, but I didn't. I just I was like, well, let me try banking. Let me try if I'm gonna like this. I did want to go teach. I did do that for about 6 months. I taught sixth grade math for 6 months. And I was like, no, this is just not for me. This is not for me. Math is something that I always enjoyed. Math is something that I was always good at. So I was like, okay, so let me go into the finance industry. And so that banking is kind of where I started my financial career. And then I just knew that, being at the bank, you have so many other opportunities that investments, we have investments that I can get into. So I didn't know kind of where I wanted to go. I just knew that there is something that I wanted to do because I enjoy math.
That's awesome. Now we're almost out of time, and we thank you so much for taking time for us today. But a couple things before we go. First of all, tell us where to find your branch if they need to come in and set up an account.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so I am at the Madison 463 location. We do have 3 locations. Trustmark do have 3 locations here at Madison. We have one, well, we just opened one in Gladstone. Y'all have one in Canton. The Gladstone location just opened up in December, but I am on Madison 463, as you said. I am right behind the Madison High School, across the street from St. Joe. I'm looking out of my window, looking here at St. Joe. It is a location right up above me. That location is not operational. It is only it's operational. It's not retail. We have investment guys in there and some commercial lenders in there, but they are not open for day-to-day, everyday transactions. But yeah, I'm right off of 463 behind Madison High School, Madison Central High School. and across the street from St. Joe.
Yeah, and you know, and you guys that have the student accounts, they can come in there with their family, get something started, and really start establishing that banking relationship right now.
That's correct. That's correct. You do have to be 16 in order to open up an account, and just have two forms ID. 16 by yourself to open up an account. Have two forms ID, and $50 deposit. And a lot of times when I say $50, they're like, "Oh, so y'all gonna take my $50?" No, that's just to start the account. That's just kind of to establish you and start you on your way. That is your money. There's no fees with our student accounts, unless you, of course, go into overdraft or anything. I have to give you that disclaimer. Uh, but a lot of times I do tell them, hey, until you can be able to balance your checkbooks and everything, let's go ahead and put it where we can restrict any overdrafts, because those $36 add up quickly.
Absolutely. And then the last thing is, you know, banking is not going away. We're always going to need finance professionals of all types, of all backgrounds. So why should these kids really consider getting into a career in the banking industry?
Because as you said, it's not going anywhere. It is a world of fun. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, you get to meet very interesting people. Um, I enjoyed, because like I said, I've been doing this 17 this year, be 18 years for me. And I truly, truly enjoyed just meeting different people, being able to pass my knowledge on to other people, um, being able to educate them. Um, that's one thing that I didn't have, as a teenager, was the education behind banking, behind credit. So that's one of the most important things that I do try to do, with my young adults, is I try to educate you on how important it is just to have a bank, have to have credit, being able to save. Save is one of the biggest things that I really try to educate, because it is so easy for us to go out there and buy a $10 burger and don't even have $10 in our account. So it's kind of like that, you want to have that cushion and say, hey, let's be able to save, only if it's $10 a week. If it's $20 a week, save something, just so that you'll be able to have something to fall back on in your future. Everything is uncertain. We knew that, but when COVID hit, when COVID hit us, everything changed. The banking industry changed. The way we process transactions, the things that we do every day, it changed. But being able to just have that, everyday banking, I mean, it's great. It's great. And like I said, I mean, even if it's not in retail or on retail side of it, even if it's, we have marketing, we have, um, human resources. Our human resources department is huge. It's huge. I mean, not only, I say human resources, people think, oh, I don't want to be the one that's hiring and firing. Not
Yeah,
necessarily.
my friend Veronica Woods is with Trustmark HR. She's going to be in my other class here in a few weeks. But yeah, that's a huge. She's been there for years and hires and interviews hundreds of people.
Yes, Veronica. I love Veronica. I know Veronica personally. Veronica and I were in the same program. She was in the emerging talent program also. So I did get to meet Veronica. She's awesome. Awesome. Veronica's awesome. She's awesome at what she does. And that is what she is, one of our talent. We call them talent requisition team. She's one of the ones that do the hiring and firing. But we also have in our HR department, we also have people that only deals with the benefit side of the Trustmark. It's just it's a widespread industry. It's a lot. We sell insurance. We do it all. We do it all. It's great.
That's awesome. Well, we thank you for pushing through your voice going today. But
Oh,
Leatrice Tucker over there in Madison 463 Trustmark National Bank. Go see her and open you up an account. Thank you so much for joining us today.
that's right. Thank you so much.
All right. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right.